god, it's D-Man with the voices on the track. What's going on, everybody? It's me, it's Dylan, D-Man the voice, if you're feeling, frisky about it, yeah. And I'm the guy with the voices on the track. I started adding that at the beginning of the things. I do that every time, by the way. Like, I don't, it's not like a pre-recorded thing I add in, like in post-production. I do that every time before I start talking. So, it might sound a little different every time. I don't know. It's all authentic around here. It's all real. We're doing an Am I the A-hole today, folks. As I do. It's my thing, right? Before we get started, right? Before we get into the minutia, the planning, the everything, the opinions that I spew on here that some people like, some people don't. I know, recently got some comments on one of my shorts from a couple of Jagovs. You know how it goes. No matter what you do, somebody's gonna be mad about it. I don't give a shit. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe for me doing what I do. If you like it, check me out over on Twitter X. Link in the description. I also say whatever I want over there. Almost at 800 followers over there. Oh my god. We're trying to rebuild the subscribers over here after the old channel that was nearly up to 200 got tanked, right? So we're trying to rebuild it. We're trying to build back better. We're trying to build back better. Better than the government, hopefully. You know what I mean? At any rate, now that I'm done yapping, let's get into me, well, frankly, yapping some more, but about what you came here for, right? Am I the a-hole? I am. Are you? Let's see if they are. Lego. Okay, everyone, let's look at this one, huh? Am I the a-hole for telling my sister who can't have kids that she does not get to be a part of naming mine and my wife's babies? Whoa. I'm gonna say no. Like, big tragedy for your sister that she can't have kids. Like, very sorry for her. That sucks, right? It's a reality a lot of women face who want to have kids, can't have kids. It sucks, that's what adoption's for, what have you. But, yeah, so, but I'm gonna go ahead and say no, like, that's your baby. Those are your babies, right? Not your sister's babies, so she doesn't get to name them. I feel like this is a given, but since we're asking the question, apparently there's some sort of confusion about that on somebody's part. Let's see. My older sister, 34 female, was born without the reproductive organs required to have biological children. Man, the miracle of life is a fucking weird thing, and that some people just don't have the things. Some people have both of the things, right? Some people have, like, some people have, like, more than they need. Some people have nothing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we all talk about the miracle of life, but sometimes life's just like, nah, you know what? Let's give her, right, the mindset to really want kids, but she can't. That'll be a yuck, huh? That'll be a joke. Life is a joke. Anyway, because of her condition, she also has had some other health problems which disqualify her from adopting. That sucks. Due to the uncertainty around her quality and length of life. That's fair. I mean, it sucks for her, but it's fair, right? She was aware for most of her life that she couldn't have biological children. That was discovered when she was still very young, but the rest came throughout her 20s. She had dreams of motherhood and has lists of baby names she wanted to use, but she will never be able to use them on children that are hers. What I, 28 Mel, did not know at the time was she had saved her baby names and was hoping she would get to name or help name my future child. She was just hanging on to that. She was just like hoping for that to happen. Like, she didn't discuss that with you first. She was just like, oh, it's okay, I'll just name my brother's kids. But I feel like that's a discussion, right? That's something that you and her probably should have talked about beforehand. I'm sure you agree with me. My wife, 27 female, and I are expecting our first child. We haven't announced the sex, but my sister thinks we're having a girl and shared her girl names with us. We thanked her and said we, wife and I, would discuss what the names would be at some point. My sister looked upset by the response, and she then shared her boy names thinking she got it wrong. We gave her the same response. Is your sister, like, delayed developmentally? Like, is she, like, is part of her medical issues, like, that she's, like, maybe, like, not, like, not, obviously not, like, completely, like, invalid or whatever, but, like, is she, like, mentally, like, younger than she is? Is it, like, one of those situations? Because this seems like kind of weird behavior for a 34-year-old woman to have that doesn't have some sort of mental, setback, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and I speak from experience. Like I've worked with autistic and developmentally delayed and behavioral children and adults for a long time. So I'm kind of like, I mean, I'm getting very little, obviously, because like it's a fucking Reddit post, but like, just like this behavior on her part of being like just saying the baby names and just all this stuff, kind of either she has some sort of delay, mentally, or she is just woefully like ill aware of the way that things work, like normally. You know what I'm saying? Because like this is weird behavior, right? Anyway, okay. My mom suggested a couple months ago that it would be generous and kind to let my sister have some input. I told her we felt it was better if we named our child ourselves. Crazy! What a wild thing to say, huh? You selfish bastard! You want to name your child yourself and not let your sister do it? Oh, people just don't care about family anymore, right? People just don't care, do they? They just have no thought or feeling in their heart for their family and your sister and her feelings about your baby, you bastard. Oh, God, there's still more to this. All right, my wife and I did look at the list just to see if we liked any of the names. Fair enough. We did not. Damn, of all the names she picked, you didn't like any of them for either gender? Damn, not to, I mean, I don't want to say, okay, I said either gender. Obviously, gender's a spectrum. You can be whatever you want. I'm talking about what you're binarily born as, right? Okay? Anybody who listens to this to say, like, he said there's only two genders. I'm talking about when you're literally born. You're born one or the other. Unless you can't, like, I guess there's intersex, right? But that's very rare. But, like, I'm talking about when you're born, okay? Not when you're older and have the ability to fucking be whatever you want. If you listen to me at all, you know I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I don't give half a shit what you're identified. Like, be you. Live your truth. Live your life. I don't care. Just had to give that little disclaimer there because I know that, I mean, not enough people listen to this. That'd really be a problem, like, right now. But it's one of those things that, like, I say this shit now, right? And then, like, lo and behold, maybe something catches on. Something I say, something I do catches on, right? And somewhere down the line, I'm famous or whatever. Or, like, I'm more known. And then people go back in my back home like, 5 years ago, D-Man, the voice said there's only two genders. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm trying to, like, I'm talking about what you're born as, people, all right? I'm trying to cover my ass for something that hasn't even happened yet. But, preemptive. I'm trying to, I don't know, shit, maybe in 5 years, maybe we'll be back the other way. Maybe, that stuff will not be okay again. I don't know. The world keeps going in crazy ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, on one hand, you got everybody who's like, all the genders and the sexuality and the everything, and that's great. That's amazing. Like live your truth, do your thing. Like, I don't give a shit. And on the other hand, we got all these people that are like really militantly like against all those people that are trying to live their life. And then so you got like all the people who follow the stained Tupperware guide, and you got all the people that get really upset when you mispronounce the other lady's name. You know what I'm saying? Like, over here, we don't give a shit, right? We don't care. This is not a place for that. Sometimes I talk about, political things just because of the topics of what I'm talking about. Sometimes, leads to those kind of things. But I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I'm just saying, like, I don't get political around here as a rule. But sometimes the things do come up just because of the nature of what I talk about. Like, sometimes you gotta talk about social things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, alright. I'm gonna keep going. Alright. Names on the list included Elizabeth, Hannah, Rosemary, and Francesca for girls, and James, Edward, Patrick, and Michael for boys. Those just aren't to our preference. None of them were, and there were no more names. And none of them were, and there were more names. Okay, so there were more. So Elizabeth, let's come on, let's go, fam. Let's critique these names for a minute, huh? Elizabeth, Hannah, Rosemary, Francesca. Interesting, right? Because like those first two are very like what quote unquote normal, like traditional names, right? Like people, you've heard a lot of Elizabeths, you heard a lot of Hannahs. I've known several. But like Rosemary and Francesca, those are a little more exotic, right? Those are a little more like obviously not unheard of. Rosemary's baby. You know, Francesca Findabar, shout out to The Witcher 3. Francesca De Pazzi, shout out to the Italian Renaissance. You know, I know a lot of things, folks. But like those are they're more uncommon, right? They're more uncommon names. You know, Elizabeth and Hannah, very, and then Rosemary and Francesca, I kind of like them. I mean, you gotta be a special kind of person to live up to a Francesca. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a Francesca, like, you better be interesting when you grow up. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of a name to live up to. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's look at James, Edward, Patrick, and Michael. Those are all very normal names, right? You know, James is like, James, I know I've known so many Jameses, right? Edward, shout out to anyone who gets that reference. I'm sorry if I just traumatized you. Also Edward Cullen from Twilight, weird pedo guy. Speaking of pedos, Jacob from Twilight. You been putting on my baby? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he did, right? He did fall in love with a baby. And they try to act like it's not weird by having your age up super quick, but like, and saying it's like, oh, it's not a good thing. Listen, and Stephanie Myers, you didn't have to put that in the book. And it didn't have to be in the movie, but whatever. Hey, Patrick Star, right? Patrick, is mayonnaise an instrument? You know what I'm saying? Type beat. No, this is Patrick, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we love, or, you know, Patrick Bateman. Shout out American Psycho. Different sides of the spectrum there. Or not, depending on how deep into the lore of SpongeBob you get, you know, because if you get into, like, some of that... You seen those, like, weird dark comics and stuff, like, with Patrick and the one with, like... I forget, somebody's, like, strung up and they're being put into the Krabby Patty. It's weird, right? It's weird. Like, you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Then Michael. Obviously, biblical. The Archangel Michael. We love a good biblical name. They're very Michael's a good, strong name. A lot of good Michaels out there. I've known a lot of good Michaels in my time. I mean, I don't hate any of those names, but as they said, it's just not to their taste, which is completely their fucking prerogative. It's their kid, right? All right. Okay, next. My sister mentioned the names again recently, and she said we should pick Elizabeth for the girl and Michael for a boy. It doesn't matter what you think, random sister girl. Thank you for your input. You don't get to name the baby. She said that's what she'd do if she were having the baby. Well, you're not. I'm sorry that you can't have kids, but this is not your kid, so butt out, I guess. I told her we hadn't made up our mind yet, but we're still in discussions about it. She offered to help, and I said, no thanks. My wife and I want to figure it out between us. My sister said she wants to be a part of naming all our babies. No. That she would love to share all her endless thoughts on names that she'll never get to put on her own kid. Again, very tragic that you can't have kids. But that doesn't mean that you get to just glom onto your brother's kids. I told her I understood she wanted that, but my wife and I, as parents, would name our child, and she does not get to be a part of that. Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. I told her I understood that was hurtful to her, but she does not get a say. Right. I also asked her to please stop bringing it up. Yeah. My sister told me I could let her have at least a little say in this, and I said sorry, but no. Why is she, like, I get why she's so, we'll get back to it. I'm going to finish this last little paragraph. She cried to Mom, who thinks we should be more sensitive, while my dad told my sister I wasn't wrong and she needs to accept that she doesn't get to name our baby. W. Dad. My response has caused a divide amongst my parents and sister and me, and has been made clear my mom thinks I lack compassion. My sister believes I'm hurtful to her. Am I the asshole? No. I mean, listen, I can understand the sister's plight here, right? I can understand the sister's where she's coming from. Like, obviously not. I can't like fully understand. never will be in that situation. But like, I can understand. Like, she really wanted to have kids. She can't have kids, so she's trying to, like, by proxy be involved somewhat in the kids, the naming or whatever. And I mean, while I can understand the reasoning and why she would want that, that still is not your poster, your problem, right? That's not something that you should have to deal with, should have to curtail to, should have to motion your life around. Like, very sorry for your sister, but like, that's your baby, and it's you and your wife's job and only job to name that baby, right? It's only you. It's you guys are the only ones who get a say in what that baby is named. And so for her to be so fucking like militant and like very, very like pushy about this is that's where it gets weird, right? Because like, as much as we can understand the plight and understand, her, have some compassion for her situation, she's being really like unreasonable about it. She's being like very aggressive, very like, like, I should get to name your babies. Like, no. Like, if you had decided among both of you, been like, yeah, you can have a say, like, okay, good for you. But like, you're not at all, you don't have to do that. And so for her to like be so pushy about it, and then to the point where she runs to your mom, and your mom is also trying to be like, yeah, you should let her, baby. Like, I understand she probably has a lot of sympathy for her daughter because of what she's been through in her life, and obviously she has a lot of issues, medically and whatnot. So I understand she probably is a little more sensitive to her, and so she just wants to take her side. But like, you can't, come on, Mom, you can't honestly think that she's right in this. Like, there's no way, right? Like, this is like I like the dad being like, no, I mean, it's their baby, they get to name it. Like, how is this even an issue? Like, how are we even talking about this? How's even the thing is that the fucking mental gymnastics people do to try and justify all kinds of things is just wild to me, right? Either things that they're doing or things that their family or child are doing, like, just the mental gymnastics people do to try and justify any and all kind of behavior. It's just wild, right? Like, obviously she's wrong, right? Obviously she's wrong. Because, like, that's not her kid, right? Like I said, the suggestions are fine, being like, oh, I always thought that, Francesco was a nice name. I always thought that James was a nice name, whatever. Like, that's fine. That's what you do, right? You'd be like, if they're like, oh, we're thinking about what to name the baby, like, oh, you kind of have a discussion about it. Be like, oh, well, I always like this, whatever. But if they're like, oh, yeah, that's a great name. Or if they're like, oh, we were thinking something like this, you don't go, no, you have to name them this because I said so, because I never got to have a baby and I want to have a baby and you have to name them this because I said so. Like, that's where it gets weird, right? Like, having the discussion, having the talking about it, and like spitball and throwing around names is one thing. You being like, no, you have to. I want to name them. You have to let me name them. Is where we have a problem now, right? Because it goes from then being like a cute little like suggestion of like just talking about names to allow like you think that you're entitled to name their child, which I can't believe this is even. We're even talking about this. This is insane. Like, obviously that's not. You're right. Obviously, you can't do that. Obviously, that's not up to you. Like I said, if they gave you some kind of say, cool. But like, obviously, how are we even talking about this? How is this even like a problem? Obviously, you're wrong. Obviously, the poster isn't wrong. Obviously, the girl the sister is. Like, what are we even doing here, folks? Like, oh, God. It's like, I suppose, of course, like, whatever is common sense to me, and hopefully you, listening to this, whatever's common sense is not to everybody. Everybody does not consider what's common sense to be the same thing, right? As they say, the old adage, common sense ain't that common, right? Like, things that we think are like, oh, obviously, other people are like, bleh, about, and we're like, oh, that's mad weird that you're not normal about that. You know what I'm saying? And that could be various factors, people's mental state, people's, social upbringing, people's trauma, what have you. People have different reactions, different brain chemistry to whatever. But like, and let's say maybe her medical issues like have made her somewhat, delayed or something. Like, who knows? But the point is, obviously she's wrong, and the mom is wrong for siding with her. And W dad, W poster. His wife. Yeah, I think that's about the size of this one, folks. It's a weird one, right? This is weird. This one is, because like, it's pretty cut and dry as to like who's right and who's wrong, at least in my mind. But like, at the same time, how does this situation happen? You know what I mean? I don't know, everybody. Let's outro time. Alrighty, everybody. That is the end of another one. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Check me out over on Twitter X. Link in the description. Like, share, subscribe. You know how it goes. Trying to rebuild the channel. You know, we're making some progress. Got almost up to like 10 subscribers now, which honestly, trying to be excited about single-digit view numbers and single-digit subscribers and stuff. And even though the numbers are going up, it's kind of hard to be like excited about it because like where I was getting some pretty good traction for where I was, and so to have to go start all the way over and go all the way back because of some bullshit, it's annoying, but we're plugging on, right? We're keeping on. We're gonna keep on going, and in spirit of that, let's get into the special message, everybody. And today's special message, in the spirit of today's video and today's topic, is, I mean, I guess the quickest way to say this, maybe not the nicest way, is don't be fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like, don't be fucking weird. Like, I mean, be weird, right? Be like the fun weird. Like the weird that's like, you know, you like to cosplay. You know, go to cons, because like I like to do that kind of shit. Not cosplay, but like go to nerd stuff. But like be the kind of weird that's like you like, you know, horror movies a lot, or like you dress up, you know, and you're whatever, you know, you feel comfortable in, you know, you got your rocks and your stones and your moon phases, or be weird in the way that like you, I don't know, you got your favorite anime or whatever it is you're watching, or your favorite shows, or just you'll be weird in like the kind of way that it's just like you're not hurting anybody, right? You're not doing anything wrong. You're just being you, just living your life and just being your awesome weird little self. Like that, I love that. I love that kind of weird. I love the kind of weird, that harmless weird that's just like you're just being you, baby, and I love to see it. I love to see that kind of weird. So that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this kind of fucking weird. The kind of fucking weird we just read about. The kind of fucking weird that's like encroaching on other people's lives, encroaching on other people's space and their peace to do weird shit. Just to like we've talked about, like, just, it's so weird, right? Because like this whole situation with this sister, it's just weird. The behavior is weird. And while we do understand that like her mental or whatever, like where she's, you know, coming from with like what's happened to her, tragedy or whatever, but like it's fucking weird. Like this behavior is fucking weird. You need to get a hold of yourself, right? You need to understand what you're doing and fucking figure it out. And if you can't, man, get some help. You know, go to a therapist. You know, get some medication. Figure something out. But stop being this kind of fucking weird that actually is like hurting people and encroaching on people's space and their time, and where like you feel like you're entitled to things you're not entitled to. Like that's the kind of fucking weird I'm talking about. Stop doing that shit. That's weird, bro. Like, stop doing that. You know what I mean? And like in the spirit of that too, in the spirit of like shit that's just fucking weird, I mean, something that's been on the internet since the beginning of time, is like just the people who feel the need to like comment on things and just be nasty, be mean for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a channel where like I talk about Reddit stories, and I give my opinions or whatever. But like I don't go out of my way to like seek out people and put them down for things. You know what I mean? And I get that me saying this isn't going to stop that from happening. It's not going to stop it from happening to me. It's going to stop it from happening to anybody. It's not going to stop it from happening to random people, whatever. People are trying to live their lives. People are going to be nasty. People are going to be shitty. But my whole thing is just on this channel and in just my presence on the internet in general is to be funny, be entertaining, but most of all to just be cool, man. Just spread the message of just be cool to each other. It's really not that hard. It's really easy to just be fucking cool to each other, man. Like, don't worry about what other people are doing. You know? You enjoy things. Let other people enjoy things. And just live your life, man. You don't gotta be nasty about things. You don't gotta leave shitty comments on videos. You don't gotta call people out on Twitter over nothing. Right? You don't gotta, your opinion is not, like, you don't have to do it. You don't have to be nasty like that. And if you feel the compulsion like you do have to be nasty, like, get some help, bro. Because it's not that deep. It's not that serious. Like, you gotta just, my point is just be kind to each other, all right? Don't be fucking weird in a nasty way. Don't be shitty to people, and just be kind, all right? And, I mean, if you can't do that, then I guess fuck off my channel then. Because if you can't be nice, if you can't be chill around here, fuck off. Okay? I don't want you. Because that's really the size of it, everybody. It's just that's the message I'm trying to spread with all of these, special messages and videos and everything I do. Just trying to be fun, trying to be entertaining, trying to have a good time, and but at the end of the day, just don't be shitty, okay? Don't be shitty. That's the message. Don't be shitty, don't be an asshole, don't be a dick. Just be cool, all right? All right, with all that being said, I yapped a lot, but, it's what I do. It's my thing. With all that being said, thank you all for listening and watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay frosty, do the work, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Peace out.